जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद एसी भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवद्वीप धाम की जय। गंगा माई की जय। यमुना माई की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। तुलसी देवी की जय। समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय। All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to you, Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tatho Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So I'll speak in English. So today we're reading from Canto 7, Srimad Bhagavatam chapter 7, text 42. Sukhaya dukkha mokshaya sankalpa iha karminaha sadapnoti haya dukkham anihaya sukhavritaha. Sukhaya dukkha mokshaya sankalpa iha karminaha sadapnoti haya dukkham anihaya sukhavritaha. Sukhaya dukkha mokshaya sankalpa iha karminaha sadapnoti haya dukkham anihaya sukhavritaha. Sankalpa iha karminaha ihaya dukkham anihaya sukhavritaha. Dukkha mokshaya anihaya sukhavritaha. Sukhaya dukkha mokshaya sankalpa iha karminaha Mataji's. noti haya dukkham anihaya sukhavritah. What word meaning? Sukhaya, for achieving happiness by a so-called higher standard of life. Dukkha mokshaya, for becoming free from misery. Sankalpaha, the determination. Iha, in this world. Karminaha, of the living entity trying for economic development. Sri Sri Gandharvika Giridhari Sriman Mahaprabhu ki jai. Sada, always. Apnoti, achieves. Ihaya, by activity or ambition. Dukkham, only unhappiness. Anihaya, and from not desiring economic development. Sukha, by happiness. Avritaha, covered. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. In this material world, every materialist desires to achieve happiness and diminish his distress, and therefore he acts accordingly. Actually, however, one is happy as long as one does not endeavor for happiness. As soon as one begins his activities for happiness, his conditions of distress begin. Purport. Every conditioned soul is bound by the laws of material nature, as described in Bhagavad Gita. Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashah. Everyone has achieved a certain type of body given by material nature according to the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ishvara sarva bhutanam riddhesya arjuna tishtati brahmayan sarva bhutani yantrarudhani mayaya. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjun, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities who are seated as on a machine made of material energy. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Super Soul, is present in everyone's heart, and as the living entity desires, the Lord gives him facilities with which to work according to his ambitions in different grades of bodies. The body is just like an instrument by which the living entity moves according to false desires for happiness and thus suffers the pangs of birth, death, old age, and disease in different standards of life. Everyone begins his activities with some plan and ambition, but actually from the beginning of one's plan to the end, one does not derive any happiness. On the contrary, as soon as one begins acting according to his plan, his life of distress immediately begins. Therefore, one should not be ambitious to dissipate the unhappy conditions of life, for one cannot do anything about them. Ahankara vimudatma kartaham iti manyate. Although one is acting according to false ambitions, he thinks he can improve his material conditions by his activities. The Vedas enjoin that one should not try to increase happiness or decrease distress, for this is futile. Tasyaiva heto prayateta kovidah. One should work for self-realization, not for economic development, which is impossible to improve. Without endeavor, one can get the amount of happiness and distress for which he is destined, and one cannot change this. Therefore, it is better to use one's time for advancement in the spiritual life of Krishna consciousness. One should not waste his valuable life as a human being. It is better to utilize this life for developing Krishna consciousness without ambitions for so-called happiness. Om Ajnanatimmirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuronmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guraha Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyaeva Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangam langhayate girim yat kripatam vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam. Hare Krishna. So welcome everyone. Seeking blessings of my superiors here, Varada Prabhu, Subandhu Prabhu, and all the devotees. I'll attempt to speak something on this verse. Such a wonderful day today. Today is the auspicious Ekadashi, and today is also Gita Jayanti, a day when we can express our gratitude to the Lord. Can you imagine our entire movement is based, entire Iskcon is based on Bhagavad Gita, the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. In fact, how much ever we do for the Lord, that will be always less. We can never repay the debt that we have. Never. Not possible. The only thing that we can do is express some gratitude. Heartfelt thanks. That is something that we can do. And that thanks, or that thank you that we are saying, is not just a lip service. That has to be shown through our actions. And therefore, many devotees throughout the year, and especially in this month, December, they go out on the streets and distribute Bhagavad Gita. Many people don't understand that why these devotees are doing so much. What is the need? In one of the foreign countries, one book distributor was distributing books. And he was in a place where no one knew what is that book that he is distributing. And no one was interested to take that book. But he was so expert. He was able to distribute books. In a very short time, so many books were distributed. There was a businessman who was watching him. And he was very impressed. Wow, he's distributing a product which people don't want. So wonderful. So he was thinking, if I hire this person as the director of marketing, oh, my business will just boom. So he went to the person, he went to the devotee, and he started talking. And then he started appreciating what an amazing marketing skills you have. So wonderful. I'm so impressed. I want you to be in my company. Please join me. And whatever you ask, how much package you ask, I'll give. This is my card. Think about it. You know what the devotee asked on the other side? Do you have a Bhagavad Gita? Now see, the other person, he was thinking, somehow I have to please him. I have to please this person. If I want him to be part of my company, I have to please him. So he said, I don't have it, I want one. He took. And he said, what about my offer? So the devotee said, I'll call you. I'll call you. So after some time, the devotee calls this businessman. And then he's asking, you remember we met at that place and you gave me an offer to join your company? And now the businessman was very happy. Oh, so what do you say about it? That's a very nice offer, but I just wanted to check if you have Srimad Bhagavatam. And can you imagine, this person distributed all the books of Srila Prabhupada at that time to this businessman. And he said, what about my offer? And at that time he said something very wonderful. He said, what do you think we are doing on the streets distributing these books? We are not here to earn money. This is just an act of gratitude for our Acharya, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. This is the way how devotees express their gratitude to Srila Prabhupada. This is the way how devotees express their gratitude to Lord Sri Krishna. They are not interested in anything of this world. They are just interested in pleasing Krishna. That is the quality of a devotee who is aspiring to attain Krishna Prem. And all glories to Srila Prabhupada, who has enlightened us through his Bhaktivedanta purports. This entire Srimad Bhagavatam class that is hosted in every Iskcon temple is just to study the Bhaktivedanta purports, so that all of us can nicely advance in Krishna consciousness by implementing these principles. And here is a wonderful shloka. And who is speaking? Prahlad Maharaj himself is speaking. And whom is he speaking to? Prahlad Maharaj is speaking to all his friends, all his classmates. But why is he speaking this? Because all the classmates are asking him, where did you learn all these things from? Because he gave a very heavy brahmachari class in the previous chapter. And all the classmates are bewildered. Where did you learn all these things from? And Prahlad Maharaj said, I learned this in the womb of my mother. And my Gurudev is Srila Narada Muni. So everyone is very curious. What did you learn from Narada Muni? That's how he started speaking these verses. So this is 7th canto, 7th chapter, 42nd verse, where he's saying, Sukhaya dukkha mokshaya sankalpa iha karminah sadapnoti haya dukkham anihaya sukhavratah. So here Prahlad Maharaj is saying, Karminah, the karmis, Sukhaya sankalpah. They are very determined. All the karmis are very determined. For what? For achieving happiness. So all the karmis, they are very much determined to achieve happiness. When do they want to achieve happiness? Iha, in this life. इसी जन्म में वो सुख पाना चाहते हैं. इसी जन्म में. कैसे पाना चाहते हैं सुख? How do they want to attain happiness? Dukkha mokshaya, by destroying unhappiness. Sada apnoti dukkham. So in this endeavor of achieving happiness, do they achieve happiness? Sada apnoti dukkham, they only achieve unhappiness. Ihaya, by their actions. Sukha avritah, happiness becomes perfect. How the happiness becomes perfect? Anihaya, by giving up desire for material enjoyment. So basically the sum and substance of this entire shloka is, if you want happiness, don't endeavor for it, you'll get it. That is what the essence of the shloka is. And Srila Prabhupada very technically analyzes the shloka and gives a very wonderful purport. So Prabhupada says, every conditioned soul is bound by the laws of material nature as described in Bhagavad Gita. Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karamani sarvashah. Everyone has achieved a certain type of body given by material nature according to the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So all of us, all the Baddha Jivas, like all of us, fallen conditioned souls, we are conditioned in this material world. And how do we get conditioned? By this body that we have got. It's very natural, we will see that in human species, a male human will get attracted to female human. It's very rare and it's very diseased condition if a human being gets attracted to an animal of the opposite gender. But the same person, the same living entity, when he is put in the body of hog, that person, that living entity in the hog's body starts getting attracted to a beautiful female hog. I don't know what's beautiful female hog means, but then Just trying to comprehend. So this is conditioning, where the person is conditioned. If he's there in certain body, he's conditioned in that particular body to do certain activities. In the human body, the person might be interested to have nice sweets, rasgullas, and I shouldn't speak all this on Ekadashi. Yes. Nice sweets. But then, the same person, when he is in the body of a hog, he is attracted to stool. And he is relishing the stool the way the human being is relishing some sweet. This is called conditioning. We are conditioned, badly conditioned, very badly conditioned. But how do we get this body? How do we get conditioned in this body? In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna is telling. Please repeat. Ishvara sarva bhutanam Riddheshe Arjuna Tishtati Brahmayan Sarva Bhutani Yantrarudhani Mayaya. The Lord is saying, Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Riddheshe Arjuna Tishtati. Hey Arjun, I'm there in each and everyone's heart. And what am I doing sitting in the heart? You know what? Lord is acting as a personal secretary for each one of us. No one can say that I don't have a PA. Everyone has a PA. And who is that PA? Supreme Personality of Godhead. He has a transcendental book which is unlimited, which has unlimited pages. He has a transcendental pen with unlimited ink. And you know what? From many lifetimes, Lord has been noting down what desires we have. He was all noting down. That's what Lord is doing, sitting in the heart. And based on those desires that we have, based on our ambitions, based on our inclinations, Brahmayan Sarva Bhutani Yantra Rudhani Maya, Lord is directing us to different bodies. And if the question is asked, why is Lord directing us to different bodies? So that the desires which He has noted, He can help the living entity to get it fulfilled. How merciful the Lord is. How merciful. But the question comes that, okay, if He is there in a human form, and say it desires for something very, very high sense gratification, say it desires to have a very luxurious car, say a Mercedes or whatever, but he is a beggar. Now that desire cannot be sanctioned by the Lord. So you know what Lord does? He notes it. And He inspires the human being, He inspires the living entity to do punya. So that he has enough punya and in future Lord will fulfill that desire. How's that? This is what Lord does. How merciful He is. Well, we are desiring and He is acting as our PA and He is trying to fulfill our desires. After joining Brahmachari Ashram, I used to pray to the Lord every day. I know you have noted all my desires before coming to Krishna consciousness. Please don't fulfill any of it. Don't fulfill any of it. Which pakka He'll fulfill. Surely He'll fulfill. But a very nice thing is He is a person. He is not some impersonal entity. He is a person. So if He is a person, just go to Him and tell Him that what you want and what you don't want. He'll not do something whimsically. He'll listen to His devotees. Therefore, whatever desires we have, Lord notes down those desires and He tries to fulfill our desires. And just to fulfill our desires, we are getting different bodies. In one of the lectures, Srila Prabhupada is saying that those people who are addicted to sex desire, all the time, Krishna very mercifully gives the body of a pigeon or a monkey so that they can have sex every 3 hours. So bodies are made like that. Another lecture, Srila Prabhupada says, those people who are interested to eat anywhere and everywhere, Krishna gives them a body of hog. Eat whatever you want. Eat whatever you want. This is a very, very wonderful aspect of the Lord, that He notes down our desire and tries to fulfill our desire by giving us different bodies. But now, here comes something more technical. In the human form itself, there are so many different varieties. Some people have got so much of luxury in their life, and some others are struggling for basic need. Why? Because the answer is very simple. It's all about punya. Kunti Maharani says, Janma, Aishwarya, Shruta, Shri. These are the 4 things obtained by those who have enough punya. Janma, high birth. Aishwarya, wealth. Shruta, education. Shri, beauty. So these 4 are bestowed onto those who have enough punya. Therefore we see sometimes all these 4 are there with some persons. Because they are bestowed with it. They have enough punya. Now, when the bodies are given according to the past karma, and when, forget about other materialists, just talking about devotees or sadhakas in the community of sadhakas, if they start comparing themselves with others, that he has it, I don't have, he's jealous or he's envious, oh, that just says that he's stupid. He has not understood the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. This is not even philosophy of Krishna consciousness. This is basic philosophy of karma. He has not understood the basic philosophy of karma also. Sometimes I've heard devotees coming to me and they say, Prabhuji, he has got such a beautiful voice. Kitne अच्छे से गाते हैं वो. How I wish I would have, if I would have got such a voice, I would have also sung nice kirtan in Kirtan Mela. Now what do you want to do? You want to undergo some operation of your vocal cords? What do you want to do? You're not bestowed. Why you're not bestowed with it? Simple. I don't have enough punya for that. So Srila Prabhupada, he makes a very important point on this. And he says that whatever you have received, just accept it as the blessings of the Lord. Don't aspire for something else which you don't have. Just accept as blessings of the Lord. And this is a very important point for all sadhakas. You know why? Because when we accept it as blessings of the Lord and remain satisfied, we'll be able to practice bhakti uninterruptedly. Or else we Baddha Jivas, every now and then getting desires from here and there, will get disturbed very badly. Disturbed very badly, and in that disturbed condition, we cannot practice bhakti peacefully. Uninterrupted devotional service, very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. Therefore, there's no comparison that is needed in the association of devotees, in the circle of devotees. What is needed is a deeper thought process that how fortunate that person is that he has received such a blessing from the Lord. I'm also not less fortunate. I have also received certain blessings of the Lord. Therefore, those devotees who count the blessings of the Lord every day and express gratitude to the Lord for the same, they are the ones who can practice bhakti very intensely. Because that gratitude makes our heart so soft that it is now ready to receive the blessings, receive the mercy of the Lord. And mercy of the Lord is what makes a person intense. And when someone is just cribbing for small, small things, oh, sorry. We will not be able to advance. We will not be able to advance. Our heart will become like a stone after some time. So now, this body is given. And in this body, various entities are there. Sometimes we will see some sadhakas. Well, they want to do kirtan, they want to sing, they want to play kartal. But you will see that they sing and the kartal, they don't match. There is no sur tal ka sense. So I always say the music chip is missing, Baba. And when is the music chip fitted? As soon as we take birth. At that time itself the music chip is fitted. Sense of music. So what does that mean? So when we take birth, this body is designed in a certain way. And Prabhupada is saying in this purport. Is it displayed, purport? Okay. The body is just like an instrument by which the living entity moves according to false desires for happiness and thus suffers the pangs of birth, death, old age and disease and different standards of life. So when we take birth, our prarabdha is fixed. And that's how, based on prarabdha, we get a certain form, a certain body. Now, in this body, whatever you have got, another entity that gets fixed is sukha and dukkha, fixed. Now, we cannot ask why is it fixed. It's fixed because of whatever we have done in the past. And how it will come, how that sukha and dukkha will come, that is not fixed. That will come in a certain way. You might be working very hard. You will get sukha and dukkha in a certain way. You might be sitting idle. Still you'll get sukha and dukkha in certain way. But the quantum of sukha and quantum of dukkha, the happiness and distress is going to remain the same. Absolutely the same. As it is destined. Many times people say, everything is destined, everything is destined. Not everything, sorry. Sukha and dukkha, it is destined. But then how it is going to come, oh, that's not destined. That's not fixed. Srila Prabhupada continues and he says, everyone begins his activities with some plan and ambition. But actually, from the beginning of one's plan to the end, one does not derive any happiness. On the contrary, as soon as one begins acting according to his plan, his life of distress immediately begins. Our Acharya is very much convinced, and through Bhaktivedanta purport, he very much convinces every one of us, there is no happiness in this world. Even if someone thinks that there is some happiness, Prabhupada proves there is no happiness. And even if in the association of sadhakas, if some sadhaka feels that there is some happiness, it goes on to say that he's not reading Prabhupada books. I remember traveling with one devotee. He was dropping me to some place. So it's my habit to preach to those devotees who are just beginning. So he was there in front on the bike, I was sitting behind. And it was a red signal and we were standing there for long. So I started speaking to him that Prabhu, we should take bhakti very intensely. There is no happiness in this world. Just repeating Prabhupada's statement. It's all filled with misery. What do you say? You know what he said? He said, Prabhu, it looks like you don't have much knowledge of this area. There's so much of happiness in this area. I was shocked. What is he talking about? And then he started saying, Prabhu, there is a mall nearby. It is so beautifully built. Recently it's inaugurated. And in that mall, there is a place where devotees can also go and eat, etc., etc., etc. Even sadhakas at times, they feel, no, there is some hope of getting happiness in this world. That just goes on to say that we are not reading Prabhupada's purports scrutinizingly. In many purports, Prabhupada is very clear, there is no happiness in this world. Why is he so clear? And how is it so important for us? Because as soon as we understand this, then immediately we'll start asking the next question, where is the happiness then? If not here, then where is it? At that time, Prabhupada answers, it's not here, it's somewhere else. On the spiritual realm, in the spiritual world. And here Prabhupada is saying, from the beginning till end, one does not derive any happiness. On contrary, his life, as soon as one begins acting according to his plan, his life of distress immediately begins. And he continues, therefore one should not be ambitious to dissipate the unhappy conditions of life, for one cannot do anything about them. When I was reading this, I was thinking, why is Prabhupada saying that if you start planning, distress begins? Because we might start planning in certain way. We all might start planning in certain way. But then, what's the guarantee that plan might get successful? I might start planning. And the plan is also fully executed. There's no result that I'm getting. So this is one pain that will come. That's the distress. Another distress, even if my plan succeeds, my desire is going to increase multifold now. And that will give more pain because those desires might not get fulfilled. In this way, whatever plan of sense gratification the person makes in this world, unfortunately, that's going to get him distress eventually. Krishna himself is saying that as soon as someone starts planning for sense gratification, his plan, if you read that shloka, and as it is, if you translate from Sanskrit, that plan basically says, so that shloka basically says, as soon as someone starts planning, that plan is pregnant with dukkha. What is the shloka? Sanskrit? Yoni. The word yoni comes. Yoni means pregnant. Dukkha yona evate, yes. Adyantavanta kaunteya nateshu ramate buddha. So that word yoni, our acharyas say, it says that any plans that we make for sense gratification, that is pregnant with dukkha. It's just a matter of time. It will deliver. And this pregnant lady does not need 9 months to deliver. She'll deliver it immediately sometimes. Here, Prabhupada makes a very nice point. This is from the purport to Canto 1, Chapter 5, Sloka 18. He says, there are two features of material life. What are the two features of material life? One, misery. Second, mixed happiness. Prabhupada is very precise. First one is misery, second one is mixed happiness. There is no pure happiness in this world. That's what is Prabhupada's point. Either you'll have misery or you'll have misery mixed with happiness. That's called as mixed happiness. Therefore, Prabhupada says, one should not be ambitious to dissipate the unhappy conditions of life, for one cannot do anything about them. Ahankara vimudatma kartahamiti manyate. Although one is acting according to false ambitions, he thinks he can improve his material conditions by his activities. Why is Prabhupada saying that it's false ambition? Because unfortunately, that ambition is not going to help him in any ways to break the cycle of birth and death. Any activity for sense gratification is going to spoil the life of that person, life of that sadhaka. Therefore, Prabhupada gives a very important tip for all of us. And he says, the Vedas enjoin that one should not try to increase happiness or decrease distress, for this is futile. One should work for self-realization, not for economic development, which is impossible to improve. And Prabhupada quotes this shloka. Maybe you all can try to repeat. Tasyaiva heto prayateta kovido na labhyate yad brahmatam uparyada talabhyate dukkhavadanyata sukham kalena sarvatra gabhira ramhasa. The first line says, the first two lines, Tasyaiva heto prayateta kovido na labhyate yad brahmatad uparyada. That person who is kovida. Kovida means intelligent. That person who is intelligent will not aspire to get anything that can be got in this entire universe. From Brahma Loka to Patal Loka, in all the 14 planetary system. He will not aspire for that. Then what he'll aspire for? He'll aspire for something which is beyond this material world, beyond this material creation. Why? Why is it so? What is the thought process of this intelligent person? Tallabhyate dukkhavat anyata sukham kalena sarvatra gabhira ramhasa. Because this person understands that there is no point in endeavoring for anything which gives happiness. Because whatever happiness is supposed to come will come. And here specifically, the example that is given is kalena sarvatra anyata dukkhavat anyata sukham kalena sarvatra gabhira ramasa. The way dukkha comes automatically with time, similarly sukha will also come automatically with time. Therefore, an intelligent person does not endeavor for happiness. An intelligent person is not interested to mitigate all the distress. He is interested in something to get which is beyond this entire material creation. One point which I would like to mention here for all of our benefit and a reminder for myself also. As sadhakas, we are not here to solve problems of life. N number of problems will be there. We are not here to solve those problems. As sadhakas, we are here to get closer to Krishna. If we spend time solving problems and we think that all the problems will be solved and then I can do nice sadhana, intense sadhana, sorry, it's not going to happen. Because our karma from many lifetimes, I don't think is very great. And what is the proof? We have taken birth in Kali Yuga. That is the proof. So when someone has got pathetic stock of karmic reactions, where is the question of having a thought that someday all my problems will get over, then I will intensely practice bhakti. There is no doubt about this, that we have enough stock, and one after another it will keep coming, and on and on and on. Health issue will come. Once that is solved, some financial issue will come. That is solved, some relationship issue will come. Again the health issue, again that, again this, and it goes on and on and on. And those unfortunate sadhakas who think, I'll sort out all this and then start practicing bhakti intensely, oh, very, very unfortunate. Because never that day is going to come. Never. Never. Never Maya will come with an invitation card saying, Prabhu, start practicing bhakti now intensely. Now is the right time. She will just keep us allured saying, bas ye problem chala jaye. Next, everything is sorted out. And then when you see the next problem, Maya will say, sorry, I forgot. Bas ye ek chala jaye. And the next. And this goes on and on and on. Therefore, that person is intelligent. He understands. Why should I endeavor for all this? What is the need? What is the need? This was during my college days. I approached one brahmachari and I said, Prabhuji, I am not happy. There were some issues that was taking place in one place where I was living. So I told, Prabhu, I am not happy. And he looked at me. I thought he'll console me. He'll ask me firstly why I am not happy. And he'll console me and give me some happiness. You know what? He looked at me with angry eyes and angry expressions. And he said, you are not here to be happy. You are here to serve Krishna. I was wondering, my God, I approached the wrong person. And actually that's a fact for a sadhaka. For a sadhaka, he is not here in this world to be happy. He is not here to search for happiness. Here he is there in this material world to search for Krishna. To search for opportunities to serve Krishna. And if the sadhaka understands this, oh, his life will be happy. Because after all, who is a sadhaka? He is a living entity. And who is a living entity? Jivera Swarup Hoy Krishnera Nitya Das. He is servant of Krishna. So more he engages in service of Krishna, more he searches for the opportunities to serve Krishna, oh, he can be happy. He can be happy in that service because that is his constitutional position. Prabhupada writes, without endeavor, one can get the amount of happiness and distress for which he is destined. And one cannot change this. How much ever we plan, we cannot change this. But you know what? As devotees, when we are practicing bhakti, Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, Sloka 50. Open that. I will also open here. Long time I have not recited this. 250. Please repeat. Buddhi yukto jahati Obe sukruta dushkrute Tasmad yogaya yujyasva Yoga karma sukaushalam. So here Lord is saying that anyone who is engaged in devotional service, look at what happens. He rids himself of both good and bad reactions even in this life. Therefore, strive for yoga, which is the art of all work. Isn't it a happy news for everyone? Just by practicing intense bhakti, what happens? Both good and bad reactions is destroyed in this life itself. Now, here comes a very important question. Those who are not very sound in the philosophy, sometimes they ask this question. Prabhuji, bad reactions going away, I have no problem. But punya going away? Why punya has to be destroyed? And if punya is destroyed, then who will take care of me? How will my day-to-day necessities be met? And the answer is, anyone who is practicing bhakti, taking shelter of Krishna, Krishna will take care of that person. This faith is needed in a sadhaka to practice bhakti in an uninterrupted way. That Krishna will take care. Why should I worry? Why should I worry? I always remember Srila Sridhar Swami the original commentator of Srimad Bhagavatam. If I do some mistake in narrating the pastime, you can find out and correct me. Long time back I'd heard from a devotee, I didn't get the reference for it, but I heard it. That Sridhar Swami, his wife, she gave birth to the child and she died. And Sridhar Swami was in a mood to renounce and just engage completely in service of Krishna. And he was wondering, now this child has taken birth, how will I leave and go? At that time, he observed a baby lizard on the wall, just taken birth and coming out from the egg or something like that. And he was observing, and at that time he saw that the baby lizard is crawling, he's just walking, struggling to walk. And it just put its tongue out, and there was an insect there. It took the insect and put it inside. And at that time, this devotee, he got goosebumps there looking at it. He said, if Krishna can provide food to this lizard, why can't Krishna take care of this baby? Hare Krishna. He left. Can you imagine? Can you imagine this? Only that person who has intense faith that Lord will take care of me, such a person can do this. Or else this shloka which we just chanted is a nightmare for others who don't have faith on the Lord. They'll say, even punya is removed. Oh, I don't want to do bhakti then. But the fact is, this good and bad reactions are nullified, and Krishna completely takes charge of the devotee, and Krishna will do the needful. Okay, here is an important question. So any devotee who starts chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna takes charge of that person completely? What do you all say? No? No? Yes? He'll take pakka. Ye athama prapadyante. Ananyas chintayanta. I do understand today's Gita Jayanti, we should chant shlokas of Gita. See, one point to be noted is, Lord is always ready to take care of us. But then we rebellious entities, our problem is we have our own plans to take care of ourselves. So at that time, Lord will not interfere. You know, at that time what Lord will say? No problem, you take care. You take care of yourself. So what does that mean? It means the degree to which we surrender to Krishna, to that degree Lord takes care, or I should put it as Lord takes the responsibility of that particular living entity. He holds the living entity tight. And sometimes when the living entity, he feels enough is enough, I don't want to do all this. You know, even at that time, Lord does not leave. Therefore, we keep Shikha so that Lord can hold and does not leave. Therefore, when Lord is saying in the shloka, Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana pariyupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. When Lord is saying that yoga and kshema, you know what he means? One of our acharya, he comments, he says, it means, Lord is saying, I will make sure that devotee who is doing ananya bhakti, see the word ananya is very important. Ananya means no other desire. No desire for sense gratification, no desire for moksha. Ananya. Ananya bhakti, the one who is doing. Lord is saying, I will make sure that he'll come to me. But then, oh Lord, it takes time to come to you. What if while on the path, he slips from the path? Lord says, Kshema, I will make sure that he does not fall. I'll make sure that he does not fall. So this is the greatness of the Lord and the mercy of the Lord onto those who are completely surrendered unto the Lord, who are Ananya Bhaktas. Therefore, the ones who are Ananya Bhakta, Kevala Bhaktas, who don't want anything in life except one thing, that is opportunity to serve Krishna for Krishna's pleasure. Oh, they are the ones who are very, very special for Krishna. Very, very special. And they are the ones who are going to make it into the eternal service of the Lord. We call it as Nitya Leela of the Lord. And those people who are busy doing their own Leelas, they'll continue their own Nitya Leela lifetime after lifetime. They'll never enter Krishna's Nitya Leela. Not possible. Therefore, here, when Prabhupada is saying that one can get the amount of happiness and distress for which he is destined, and one cannot change this. This is meant for materialists who are not doing any bhakti. But anyone who is doing little bhakti also, karmic reactions will be modified, little. But those who are doing Shuddha Bhakti, the first symptom of Shuddha Bhakti is Kleshagni. And that Kleshagni is going to destroy, starting with avidya, or I should start from below. The papa, that is sinful reactions in the form of aprarabdha, prarabdha, bija, kuta, that is destroyed. And then going little more deeper and more subtler is papa bija, the sinful desires, that is removed. Going much more deeper, avidya, ignorance, which is the cause of all the suffering, that is destroyed. Therefore, Kleshagni is a sign that this person is doing Shuddha Bhakti. Now, some people might say, Prabhuji, how will I get to know that my sinful reactions are gone? Don't worry. We will realize that very clearly because sinful desires will not be seen in that person. How's that? As soon as I'm getting sinful desires, so it also goes on to say that Shuddha Bhakti abhi nahi chal raha hai. Hum Shuddha Bhakti nahi kar rahe. That's what it means. Therefore, that person who is doing Shuddha Bhakti, for him Kleshagni is like this. So all his karmic reactions are modified, destroyed, and Krishna will personally now write what he's supposed to do in his life. Have you all heard Srila Prabhupada saying that when you clap your hands, the lines changes? Yes. You all have seen some lines changing in your hands? Looks like you're not clapping enough. Yes. Clapping hands, not once in a while, continuously. What does that mean? It means continuously rendering devotional service. 24/7 rendering devotional service. This is what will result into modification of the lines on the hands, on the forehead, on the feet, wherever the things are written about this, what this person is going to do. And this is seen in the life of many brahmacharis. Their horoscope says that in so and so age they're supposed to get married. And they're still brahmachari for a good number of years. And there are many who take sannyas also. So here comes the question, how did the horoscope change? Because when you do full-time devotional service, so what is written in horoscope, it just remains as some details on some paper about someone else, not about that person who is practicing bhakti full-time. Therefore, full-time, Kevala Bhakti is something that has to be practiced. Then, this statement of Srila Prabhupada, that one cannot change the happiness and distress which is destined to, can be changed. Yes. Therefore, Prabhupada writes, therefore it is better to use one's time for advancement in the spiritual life of Krishna consciousness. One should not waste his valuable life as human being. It is better to utilize this life for developing Krishna consciousness without ambitions for so-called happiness. Each one of us as sadhakas, whatever desires we have for our own personal sense gratification, the task that is given to us by Srila Prabhupada is replace that desire with the desire of spiritual master. This is what our Amrish Maharaj did. What is that? Kamam tu dasye natu kama kamyaya. This is what Amrish Maharaj did. He replaced his desires with the desires of that of the Lord and the spiritual master. This is called as engaging our subtle senses also in service of the Lord. So each one of us, whatever desires we have, personal sense gratificatory desires, that has to be replaced with the desires of that of spiritual master. And our spiritual master, our dear spiritual master, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada and the Parampara Acharyas, they have this desire that Krishna consciousness should spread far and wide. And as soon as we burn our existence for this cause, they'll be very, very pleased. And by their mercy, the rag that is missing in our life, the attachment to Krishna that is missing in our life, that will manifest. Because each sadhaka is struggling because we don't have attachment to Krishna. Recently, just a couple of days back when I was chanting, I was thinking how unfortunate I am. It has been years now I've been chanting 16 rounds. But how unfortunate I am that there is no attraction yet to the lotus feet of Krishna. How unfortunate this is. This basically goes on to say that the Parampara Acharyas, Prabhupada, they're not yet very much pleased with our endeavors. We still those sense gratificatory desires are there, not able to follow their instructions as it is. So the day we start doing that raga will be bestowed onto us, and from Vaidhi sadhana we'll switch to Raganuga sadhana. And this Raganuga sadhana is what will take us to Goloka Vrindavan. Vaidhi sadhana can max take us to Vaikuntha. Currently we are not going anywhere. Vaikuntha is still better. Therefore, Prabhupada is saying that one should not waste his valuable life as human being. He should utilize it for developing Krishna consciousness. And for those sadhakas who have spent some good number of years or decades in Krishna consciousness, for them, the statement basically means even the slightest of sense gratificatory desire should be removed and replaced with the desire to please Hari, Guru and Vaishnavas. Many times we just end up saying we should please Guru. But actually we are supposed to please Hari, Guru, Vaishnavas. One last statement from Srila Prabhupada's purport, 1.5.18. One should not therefore waste time with these flimsy things. One should only endeavor to go back to Godhead. That should be the mission of everyone's life. Only mission is to go back home, back to Godhead. Any other mission if we have, then we are not very fortunate. Any other mission we have, we are supposed to change it to this as the only mission. And the ones who have only this as the mission, they are Vyavasayatmika Buddhi, they are one-pointed. And they are the ones who are going to attain the greatest treasure that anyone can receive, that is Krishna Prem. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, any questions you want to ask? हाँ बोलिए ना ब्रो. हाँ चैतन्य चरितमृत में कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी कहते हैं, एक श्लोक है जहाँ वे खुद कहते हैं, या शायद ये चैतन्य महाप्रभु का ही शिक्षा है सनातन गोस्वामी के लिए, मुझे ठीक से याद नहीं आ रहा है, लेकिन ये श्लोक है जहाँ वे स्वयं कहते हैं कि अगर कोई वैदिक भक्ति करता है तो उसको वैकुंठ प्राप्त होगा, और जो रागानुगा भक्ति करेगा उसे गोलोक धाम प्राप्त होगा. तो चैतन्य महाप्रभु क्या सिखाने आए थे? ये सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट प्रश्न है, महत्वपूर्ण प्रश्न. क्या सिखाने आए थे? मुझे वो श्लोक याद नहीं आ रहा है. नहीं ठीक. एनीवेज, भगवान हमें एक तो है वैराग्य सिखाने आए थे और दूसरा है राग मार्ग. ये सिखाने आए थे कि कैसे हम भगवान को प्राप्त कर सकते हैं राग मार्ग द्वारा. वैराग्य विद्या निज भक्ति योगम शिक्षार्थमेकम पुरुष पुराणम श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य शरीरधारी कृपाम्बुधि तमहम प्रपद्ये. नहीं, ये तो है एक वैराग्य के, लेकिन राग मार्ग के बारे में भी एक श्लोक आता है जिसमें ऐसे कहा गया है कि चैतन्य महाप्रभु आए थे राग मार्ग सिखाने. तो एक व्यक्ति मेरे से मुझसे बोल रहा था कि तो इस्कॉन में फिर आप चैतन्य महाप्रभु के फॉलोअर्स नहीं हैं, आप लोग तो वैदिक साधना कर रहे हैं, लेकिन भगवान आए थे राग मार्ग देने के लिए. तो इसका उत्तर यह है कि श्रीला प्रभुपाद जी ने हमें, ये मैं एक भक्त से सुन रहा था, विश्वनाथ चक्रवर्ती द्वारा उनका ही एक ग्रंथ है जिसका नाम है राग वर्त्म चंद्रिका, जिसमें वे कहते हैं कि अगर कोई वैदिक साधना कर रहा है और अगर जो भक्ति के अंग का पालन कर रहा है, अगर वो राग मार्ग के अनुकूल है तो राग मार्ग प्राप्त कर पाएगा. तो हम देखते हैं श्रीला प्रभुपाद जी ने जो हमें साधना भक्ति का मार्ग दिया है, इसमें जो कोई अंग श्रीला प्रभुपाद जी ने हमें दिया है, ये सब राग मार्ग के अनुकूल है. जैसे एक उदाहरण, तुलसी आरती, 2 प्रकार की तुलसी आरती है. अगर आप सर्च करोगे तो आपको 2 प्रकार की तुलसी आरती मिलेगी. एक जो हम गाते हैं नमो नमः तुलसी कृष्ण प्रेयसी, और दूसरा है तुलसी नारायणी, ये शब्द से आता है. सो श्रीला प्रभुपाद जी ने ये वैष्णव भजन उठा के हमें दिया है जो कहता है नमो नमः तुलसी कृष्ण प्रेयसी राधा कृष्ण सेवा पावो यही अभिलाषी। तो देखिए श्रील प्रभुपाद जी ने कैसा साधन दिया है हमें, जो राग मार्ग के अनुकूल है। कई बार तो हम जानते भी नहीं है कि क्या क्या गा रहे हैं हम तुलसी आरती में। इतना डीप है तुलसी आरती तो। कृपा कोरी कोरो तारे कोरो निज दासी, मेक मी योर मेड सर्वेंट, मुझे आपकी सेविक से क्या दासी बना लीजिए। ओहो। और कभी कभी नींद में गाते तो याद नहीं रहता हमें क्या गा रहे हैं। लेकिन मेरे बोलने का तात्पर्य यह है कि श्रील प्रभुपाद जी ने हमें वैदिक साधना तो दिया है, लेकिन जो राग मार्ग के अनुकूल है। और कई बार श्रील प्रभुपाद जी भी तात्पर्य में लिखते हैं कि फाइनली वी हैव टू कम टू द प्लेटफॉर्म ऑफ स्पॉन्टेनियस डिवोशनल सर्विस, हमें राग भक्ति करनी है। तो इसलिए श्रील प्रभुपाद जी ने जो हमें दिया है दिस इन लाइन विथ चैतन्य महाप्रभु। जो चैतन्य महाप्रभु सिखाने आए थे उसी चीज को प्रभुपाद ने दिया है। तब ये प्रश्न उठता है कि तो हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र अगर हम करते हैं और राधा कृष्णा की सेवा करते हैं, और अगर वैदिक साधना ही है तो क्या होगा फिर, कहाँ जाएंगे हम? अगर कोई वैदिक साधना करता है और बाकी जो मंत्र है उसका उच्चारण करता है जो पांचरात्रि के स्क्रिप्चर में दिया है, तो वो जाएगा वैकुंठ। लेकिन जो राग मार्ग में है, जो हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र का जप करता है, जो राधा कृष्णा की सेवा करता है, वो जाएगा गोलोक। तो जो बीच में फंसे हुए लोग हैं, जो हम लोग जो राधा कृष्णा की सेवा कर रहे हैं, प्रयास कर रहे हैं और हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र का भी जाप करते हैं, लेकिन भगवान के प्रति राग नहीं है, अटैचमेंट नहीं है, स्पॉन्टेनियस भक्ति नहीं कर रहे, तो इनका क्या होगा? ये प्रश्न मैंने एक स्कॉलरली डिवोटी से पूछा था, तो वो कहे कि वो गोलोक जाएगा, लेकिन गोलोक में उस जगह पर जाएगा जहां राधा कृष्णा की सेवा ऐसे नहीं होगी जैसे हम पढ़ते हैं। उनकी सेवा वैसी होगी जैसे वैकुंठ में होती है उनकी सेवा। एकदम दूर से उनकी सेवा होगी और हमें देखने का अवसर मिलेगा, बस। विल नॉट बी एबल टू सर्व द लॉर्डशिप्स। अगर जो हमने भागवतम में पढ़ा है वैसे लीलाओं में अगर प्रवेश करना है और अगर भगवान की सेवा वैसे करनी है इंटीमेट फॉर्म में, देन वन हैज टू कम टू स्पॉन्टेनियस डिवोशनल सर्विस। तभी राग मार्ग का पालन करना होगा। लेकिन राग मार्ग का पालन नहीं कर सकते हम, ये तो हमें गिफ्ट किया जाता है जब गुरु और कृष्ण हमसे प्रसन्न होते हैं तभी। कई कई लोग कहते हैं कि मैं राग मार्ग प्रैक्टिस करूंगा, प्रैक्टिस नहीं होता वो, क्योंकि प्रैक्टिस तो सेम ही है, दोनों हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र का ही जप करेंगे। लेकिन एक व्यक्ति जो वैदिक मार्ग में है, जिसको भगवान के प्रति कोई राग नहीं है, वो जप करेगा सोते सोते, यस, पानी मुंह पे पानी मार मार के कैसे तो 16 माला खत्म करेगा, और एक बार माला खत्म करते ही पूरा दिन माला देखने का मन नहीं करेगा, उसको दूर रख देगा कहीं। लेकिन जिस व्यक्ति के हृदय में राग है वो जप कभी रोक ही नहीं पाएगा। He'll go on and on and on. So ये है डिफरेंस। तो चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने जो हमें जो दिया है वो राग मार्ग का ही साधन दिया है, और वो चाहते हैं कि हम सब गोलोक धाम ही जाए और श्रीमती राधा रानी और श्री कृष्णा के नित्य लीला में प्रवेश करें। प्रयास किया आपके प्रश्न का उत्तर दें। करेक्ट करेक्ट। हाँ हाँ, यस 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 यस, यही है अटैचमेंट। करेक्ट 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 करेक्ट। वो कभी रोकेगा ही नहीं अपने आप को, हमेशा वो भक्ति में लगे रहेंगे। करेक्ट, यस। एनीथिंग एल्स एनीवन वांट्स टू आस्क? Okay, thank you very much. So we'll end here. Srila Prabhupada की, गीता जयंती महोत्सव की जय। बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन पे टिप्स, ये सारे अच्छे बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर, वो मुझे बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन नहीं आता है। मैंने प्रवचन के प्रारंभ में ही एक प्रसंग बताया। तो एक चीज तो है कि गीता जयंती कैसे मनाना चाहिए। एक तो अभी तो यज्ञ होने वाला, मैं देख रहा हूँ यज्ञ है, और कई जगह पे पारण, ये गीता पारायण होगा, जहाँ सारे 700 श्लोक का उच्चारण होगा। कई जगहों पे कई सारे इस्कॉन मंदिर में एक होता है। लेकिन गीता जयंती ऐसा अवसर, ये सब तो करना ही चाहिए, नो डाउट। लेकिन अगर हम भगवान भगवान को प्रसन्न करना चाहते हैं और अपनी कृतज्ञता व्यक्त करना चाहते हैं, इफ यू वांट टू एक्सप्रेस अवर ग्रैटिट्यूड, तो हमें इन पुस्तकों का वितरण करना चाहिए। वी हैव टू डिस्ट्रीब्यूट द भगवद गीतास। विथ एवरी भगवद गीता दैट वी डिस्ट्रीब्यूट, कृष्णा विल बी वेरी प्लीज्ड। भगवान बहुत प्रसन्न होंगे, क्योंकि हम भगवान को और कुछ दे तो नहीं सकते। जो कुछ भी उन्होंने दिया है हमारे लिए, वी कैन नॉट गिव बैक एनीथिंग टू देम। लेकिन एक चीज जो कर सकते हैं हम उनके लिए, वो है एक्सप्रेस ग्रैटिट्यूड, एंड दैट इज पॉसिबल बाय डूइंग दिस वन सिंपल एक्ट ऑफ डिस्ट्रीब्यूटिंग बुक्स। कई बार भक्त कहते हैं कि प्रभु जी, मैं तो अच्छे से बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन नहीं कर पाता हूं। तो मैं एक भक्त के प्रवचन में सुन रहा था, वे कह रहे थे कि जब भी आप किसी के पास जाते हो और उसको आप कन्विंस करते हो कि आप बुक लीजिए, लेकिन वो नहीं लेता, तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि आप फेल हो गए। इसका मतलब ये है कि उस दीवार पर आपने एक दरार क्रिएट किया है। यू हैव क्रिएटेड वन क्रैक। गिरा नहीं है दीवार लेकिन अभी तक। फिर से वो व्यक्ति किसी और से मिलेगा, फिर वो भक्त कन्विंस करेगा, फिर भी वो कन्विंस नहीं होता है। तो इसका मतलब क्या, वो भक्त फेल हुआ? नहीं, उन्होंने भी एक क्रैक मारा है उस दीवार पे। फाइनली ऐसे बहुत सारे क्रैक्स के बाद एक और भक्त फाइनली वो आता है बुक के साथ। तभी फाइनली ये जो व्यक्ति वो पूछता है, अरे बताओ कितना पैसा लगेगा? व्हाट इज द कॉस्ट? इसका मतलब क्या, इतने सारे क्रैक्स थे, फाइनली उस भक्त ने एक मारा और वो दीवार गिर गई। सो अभी ये प्रश्न उठता है कि किसने बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूट किया? बताओ किसने बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूट किया? वो आखिरी भक्त ने? सारे भक्तों ने बुक्स डिस्ट्रीब्यूट किया। एवरीवन वाज इन्वॉल्वड इन डिस्ट्रीब्यूटिंग दैट वन भगवद गीता। इसलिए जब हम जाते बाहर, और कभी कभी ऐसा होता है कि 2 घंटा हो गया और एक बुक भी नहीं गया, तो निराश नहीं होना चाहिए। अगर आप लोग ने 100 लोग को टच किया, इसका मतलब आपने 100 क्रैक्स बनाए हैं आज, एंड यू आर ऑलरेडी पार्ट ऑफ अ बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन। बस आपका बुक अभी डिस्ट्रीब्यूट नहीं हुआ है, पर पक्का हो जाएगा। इट्स अ मैटर ऑफ टाइम। हाँ, लेकिन पक्का होगा, कभी ना कभी तो होगा, कभी ना कभी तो होगा। और 2 टिप्स मेरे तरफ से बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन के टाइम ये करना चाहिए, क्योंकि बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन को हाई साधना कहा गया है, वेरी हाई इंटेंस साधना। लेकिन कई बार भक्त आते हैं और वो कहते हैं, प्रभु जी मैं बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन के लिए गया और मेरी चेतना खराब हो गई। क्यों? क्योंकि ये 2 चीज हम नॉर्मली नहीं करते। देखिए, जब भी हम बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन के लिए जाते हैं, तो सबसे पहले ये है कि किसी को भी अप्रोच करने से पहले हमें भगवान से प्रार्थना करनी चाहिए। मैं तो बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूट नहीं कर सकता है, भगवान ये तो आपका बुक है, आप कीजिए, आप उसको इंस्पायर कीजिए, आप उसको प्रेरणा दीजिए ये ग्रंथ लेने के लिए। सो कृष्णा विल डू दैट। अभी क्या हुआ, आपने प्रार्थना किया, किससे प्रार्थना किया? भगवान से प्रार्थना किया। सो विथ एवरी प्रेयर when you are out on the street, you are going to get closer to Krishna. और दूसरा चीज ये है कि जब हम पुस्तक वितरण करते हैं, सो ऐसा नहीं बोलना है कि फ्री में लीजिए भगवद गीता, फ्री में लीजिए, और फिर कोई आता है, हाँ दीजिए, अरे प्रिंटिंग प्राइस तो दीजिए आप। प्रिंटिंग प्राइस तो दीजिए, कुछ डोनेशन दीजिए। So senior devotees कहते हैं कि if you want to distribute book, distribute it on the merit of the book. मतलब ये हमें बताना है कि उस ग्रंथ में क्या है, ऐसे नहीं कि फ्री में लीजिए, फ्री में लीजिए। So when I'm speaking about the book, अगर मैं बोलने लगता हूँ कि भगवद गीता में क्या है, और 2-3 श्लोक अगर मैं बोलता हूँ, तो उसका भी भला होगा और उससे ज्यादा तो मेरा होगा। Because I will remain Krishna conscious on the street. कृष्णा भावनामृत में ही रहूंगा मैं, रास्ते पर भी मेरी चेतना खराब नहीं होगी। अगर हम ये 2 चीज कर पाए, तो जब आएंगे बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन से लौटकर, विल बी फुल्ली एंथुसियास्टिक टू डू मोर सर्विस। थक नहीं जाएंगे हम लोग। तो 2 ही चीज करना है, एक तो है प्रार्थना करनी है, वी शुड ऑफर प्रेयर एवरी टाइम व्हेन यू अप्रोच अ पर्सन टू डिस्ट्रीब्यूट अ बुक। और दूसरा, जब आप जाते हो किसी के पास, तो तभी बुक के बारे में बताइए, क्या दिया है इस बुक में, कितने श्लोक है, कितने अध्याय है, और कैसे ये श्लोक कितने प्रैक्टिकल है। 1-2 श्लोक बोलिए,
उसके लिए आपको आना चाहिए श्लोक। एक दो श्लोक बोलिए और गलत गलत मत बोलिए। सर्वधर्मान परित्यज्य, नहीं नहीं, पहला वाला श्लोक, धर्म क्षेत्र कुरुक्षेत्र। देखिए भगवान कह रहे हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र जप करना है। अगर ऐसे कोई व्यक्ति होगा जिसे संस्कृत आती है, he'll just thrash you on the floor. Thrash you on the floor. So ये है 2 टिप्स सारे भक्तों के लिए। प्रार्थना करनी चाहिए और ग्रंथ का गुणगान करना चाहिए। ठीक है ब्रो, हरे कृष्णा, धन्यवाद। श्रील प्रभुपाद की, दिसंबर बुक मैराथन की जय।